Welcome back. Over the last few weeks, we have witnessed the insurmountable grief and rage of people from all walks of life. People across the country have taken to the streets to demand justice for the victim of the spine-chilling Kolkata rape and murder case. Amidst this furor, several other such cases have also made the headlines. Whether the sexual assault of two nursery students in Badlapur, the gang rape of a 14-year-old girl in Nagaon, and the rape and murder of a nurse in Uttarakhand. Amidst the outrage, we take a moment to examine how to make sure that such dastardly crimes can be prevented. NewsX has proposed a plan to launch India's largest study into sexual predation. Our proposal has been endorsed and lauded by several eminent people, including Prataprao Jadhav, the Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, West Bengal Governor C.V. Ananda Bose, IMA President R.V. Ashokan, Kiran Bedi, former Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, and Advocate Seema Kushwaha, Nirbhaya's lawyer, amongst many. Now also, we will be speaking to someone very special on this campaign that we have started. Mr. Ujjwal Nikam, Special Public Prosecutor, is joining us on this program. Mr. Nikam, appreciate you taking out the time and speaking with us. So first up, well, as you know, NewsX has launched a campaign making an appeal to the IMA, the Health Ministry, the ICMR, to conduct India's largest ever psychological study into the minds of rapists. Would you be willing to extend your support to this noble campaign and cause, sir?
I support mainly for two reasons. Nowadays, such incidents are happening, and therefore, in order to avoid the recurrence of such incident, what measures can be adopted? And secondly, whether there is any deep study on the psychological aspect. Let me tell you to your viewers that I am conducting and prosecuting such type of cases since long time against the notorious criminals in Maharashtra. I found that some boys aged about 26 to 27 old, they are mercilessly committing the rape on a child of 2.5 years and did commit the murders. I have also noticed that such culprits had committed not only one incident, but they have the antecedent also. Unfortunately, they were acquitted. He was acquitted in earlier trial, and the trial which I recently conducted against such accused, he was convicted for life. I asked for the death penalty because my argument was that he will not be reformed or rehabilitated even if the lesser sentence is given to you, that is the life imprisonment. But anyhow, the court has awarded life imprisonment to him. But that is not a question. Question is this: why that particular boy had committed rape, whether he was psychologically imbalanced or whether on account of his loneliness.
So do you think, in your experience, consumption of media of perverse nature contributes to an increase in the rates of such heinous crimes?
Like that. To be very frank, I must say that we are losing our culture very fast. Why this is happening? Because there is a communication gap between the parents and the children. This is the one aspect. Secondly, the children are not being taught what is meant by good and what is meant by bad from the childhood. Parents should keep a close watch on the movements of the children. Parents have not friendly relation with their children. Parents are busy in their regular work, and the children, they are busy in their own friends' company. And therefore, parents should take our children in confidence. As a friend, they should discuss with the child or children, and they should take it alone as to what had happened in a day. Now, this type of incident.
And sir, as a prosecutor, what has been a case that has really shocked you and made you wonder about the mindset of that particular criminal?
As a prosecutor, I must say, when such criminals commit such type of heinous act, they never bother anything. Firstly, they think that they will not be apprehended, number one, because in such cases, mostly they try to commit the murders of the child also. And secondly, they go into such a mental state that they don't think what is right and what is bad, what is good, what is bad. They are in a frenzy mind. Why this happens? This is because of the lack of the culture. The treatment given to such boy in his own house, at some time he being isolated from the other family members for many reasons. Joint family concept has lost, and most of the cases, the friends, their society, it all affects their mind. And thirdly, what they see and what they watch in the mobile.
Mr. Nigam, do you think that if there was such a study and patterns emerged in its findings, it would really help the prosecutors find the culprit and simplify, this complex process?
In my opinion, this study will definitely will offer great advantage to the society in particular and to the government also in general. Because no government would like that such incidents should happen in our country. And therefore, the government can think over what reforms can be incorporated in the education system also. And therefore, this is a time that children also should be taken into confidence right from the school age.
Mr. Nigam, do you think that a sexual predator study could actually help in creating pre-factor awareness in rape cases?
This type of studies and the statistic will surely help the society, and also certain solution can be evolved. I can't say that immediately within some years this will be done, but this will ignite to think over what reforms are required to be done in the system.
Mr. Nigam, last question. What do you think can be the challenges in conducting such an intricate study?
There are many challenges, no doubt. The first challenge is to win the confidence, and the experts will require to study very carefully and minutely to go each and every to such cases and to find out whether the circumstances had also added for such offenses and to find out the solution. But the most important challenge is that to gain the confidence of the people for disclosing how and under what circumstances such incidents had occurred, especially to speak with such person to take out a survey in the jail to try to understand the family background of such person, and then certainly this study will give some solution for averting such incidents.
Mr. Nikam, appreciate you taking out the time, sir, and speaking with us. It's a pleasure having you. All right, next up is D. Rupa, the Inspector General, IG of Karnataka Police, is also joining us. D. Rupa, appreciate you joining us and speaking exclusively to NewsX on this very important topic. Well, as you know, NewsX is running a campaign where we are appealing to the IMA, the government and other agencies to conduct the largest psychological study of rapists and sexual predators. What do you say about that, and are you willing to extend your support to this noble cause?
Yes, I think there needs to be a cohesive voice demanding for a psychological profiling of rapists, because that will give us an idea into what goes on in the mind of the rapist, and also it's a platform to begin reform of these rapists. And it will more than that, it will also help us identify the potential rapists and also prevent such heinous crimes, the heinous rapes. Presently, this is not in India, and
well, you have been in the police and have handled very complex cases. What has been your observation when you have interacted with sexual predators and their mindset?
I have found the rapists to be not just full of lust. It's not the lust that drives them to commit rapes. More than lust, what takes over the perpetrator at that point of time to commit such a heinous crime as rape is aggression, anger, frustration. Let us say he has approached the girl for something, and he has been thwarted by the girl or the woman of his advances. Then that becomes revenge, anger, revenge. Similarly, let's say a person who is deprived of certain things sees that there is a good couple walking around, or there's a nice girl walking around with all the comforts. And then also he would like to show his power over her, that I'm not less than you, I have more power than you. So that desire to urge to express the power, that comes out as aggression and then as rape. So it's not just lust. Lust is secondary. The primary thing is trying to assert power, trying to reassure himself. So basically these people are very insecure. They try to assert their power, dominate the woman by raping her, just to feel good about themselves. So it's actually a psychological illness in a way.
All right, well, have you ever seen a behavioral pattern when you have handled rape cases, especially those involving minors?
Yes, actually, see, whenever a perpetrator tries to advance, make some sexual advance, unless it is nipped in the bud, it will not act as deterrent. He will go on and on committing more and more of such crimes. Many of them may go unreported, underreported, because as it is, there is stigma anywhere in the world, not just in India, because a victim always gets stigmatized. There is a problem for her married life, or even getting married, or even in job workplace, and therefore it is underreported. But as I see, it is basically many a time it's also the person who is in custody of the girl or the woman, or in trust, we can say. For example, the teachers are supposed to be the custodians in school. In jail, in prisons, the jail staff. In the police stations, the police, and so on. In hospitals, the hospital staff. So wherever these custodians are also there, even relatives, guardians, they can also be involved in rape, they can be rapists. But the profile is, as I said, first is the lust, but then when there is no means to express that lust, and the person gets thwarted, coupled with the insecurity, they start these, they venture into these kind of heinous crimes. And also they don't have remorse. They don't have that empathy, sympathy. They're not kind. They don't think of the consequences. Firstly, what will happen to them or to the victim, and secondly, they don't have any remorse or guilt feeling. So lack of remorse is basically the feature which makes them commit again and again.
And what do you think will be, some of the challenges that the police and law enforcement will have to face if such a large-scale psychological study of rapists is done?
We actually maintain data, the SCRBs, the State Crime Records Bureaus, and the National Crime Record Bureau. They're all linked, interlinked, and including up to the district level, the District Crime Record Bureaus. So we do get information about 10 different classification, which involves dacoity, robbery, and so on. But regarding the rapists, there isn't much data. The classification is not separate, and especially the gang rapists, we don't have a separate classification, and therefore the profiling or the data regarding them is incoherent and is not ready to be used. So if we build these records and create a subclassification and prepare a data on rapists and their profiling, we will be able to identify what they are potentially able to do and prevent any such crimes which they may be able to, which they may attempt in future. So the collation of data is of course one biggest challenge, and collation as well as the when the persons involved are their own relatives or within the four walls when the rape takes place against the consent of the woman or against a minor who is below 16, which is a rape. Even if there was consensus by a minor who was below 16, it is still considered rape. In those cases, what happens is the perpetrator is a relative, or the perpetrator may be a custodian, maybe a teacher. So the parents will not be willing to give complaint against the guardian with whom they left the child, or against the teacher, and so on. So hence the underreporting itself is a problem, especially these cases, and the collation of the data. So this becomes a problem, but however it can be overcome. We have to encourage people to come and report in the police stations in the first place, not stigmatize the victim, not victimize the victim further by asking undue questions. Now, be sensitive and show sensitivity in the police stations, be accessible to the victim. Only then the reporting will happen, and do not stigmatize the woman who is a victim, or the girl who is a victim. Do not, the opportunities in job place as well as marriage market should be same as any other to any such victim. If she is stigmatized, then naturally there will be underreporting. So that is basically one problem which we have to encourage people to overcome, and that will come with the societal change, not just the police or the agencies, but it is with the help of society at large.
All right. Well, do you think that such a study and its findings will help the police track down the culprit better, and it will also help in pre-facto safety of the victim?
Yes, of course. When we do the psychological profiling, we will be able to know what prompts this man, how is his behavior in various situations. So what will prompt him to to attempt a sexual advance or to a sexual crime, and we can inform the people around him, or let's say if somebody has left their child, girl child or woman in his custody, we can always inform and keep a tab and a watch. But yeah, there could be issues of privacy. People may say privacy getting avoided, invaded and all that, but some stringent measures, desperate measures will be required at desperate times. So somewhere we have to start, even if not for all. Some specific cases like gang rapes, which are very animal-like, cruel, heinous, we have to start at least with them, the profiling.
All right. Tirupa, appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for speaking with NewsX. All right, next up we have Dr. Vikram Singh, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. Sir, thank you so much for being here. Well, NewsX, as you know, and we've been talking about that, has launched a campaign. We're inviting the most qualified medical minds to discuss profiling of rapists. And the question here is, are you willing to extend your support to this campaign, sir?
I must compliment you for bringing up a topic that is most burning, relevant, and contemporary. The best minds must come up and give up the nation and the society a workable solution. God bless you.
So do you think such a scientific study will help us build more accurate policies and laws, that will prevent rapes and sexual assaults in the long run, actually?
Absolutely. Rapes have now assumed an epidemic proportions. In spite of all the honorable pronouncements of the Honorable Supreme Court, the Verma Commission, the 13th Criminal Law Amendment Act, but we have not progressed even 1% ahead. To the contrary, we have taken a retrogressive metamorphosis. We have become even worse than what we were in year 2013. Therefore, we need to have a cumulative and a collective effort to give a befitting reply to the rapists and the perverts, even if it amounts to chemical castration, which I strongly recommend. That chemical castration is one of the solutions, because I've handled rapists and I know if they fear anything the worst, even the death penalty is castration. And therefore this is something, because extreme crime call for extreme measures, and that is why I'm recommending chemical castration of rapists who are.
And so do you agree with the fact that medical science such as brain mapping of rapists can also help build solutions to our fight against this issue in the society?
Are different, and problems of India are different. But it is not that brain mapping has not been done earlier. It is not that brain mapping has not been done earlier. You read The Silence of the Lambs. That, of course, brain mapped for a different kind of a crime. Psychopathic killers. This has its limitations, but it has its tremendous advantages also. No one solution can customize or address this multi-dimensional issue. It has to be a multi-dimensional, which would include brain mapping, psychotherapy, ban on psychotropic drugs, ban on pornography, and how to treat the delinquents.
So do you think that the findings and patterns can then be used in not just training law enforcement agencies, but spreading awareness among everyone?
Oh yes, awareness is half the job done. If the ladies are aware who the predator is, what is going behind his eyeballs, and what is his mechanism, what are the gray areas, where could we identify the sensitive areas, the sensitive timings, who could be a potential predator, that of course would make a world of a difference and can be a game changer. So be it.
So the US maintains a sex offenders registry that is accessible to the public at large as well. Do you think India should also start collating something similar and in fact use this already existent way of finding out predators?
Very much. This was done in the past, and it is mandated that all sex offenders, their details would be collected in a central register. But to make it public also would be very, very desirable, to name and shame not only the perpetrator, but also the families, so that they keep a tight leash on their deviant children.
Sir, appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much. Well, the conscience of the whole nation was shaken up by what happened in Kolkata on the 9th of August. The brutal rape and murder of a trainee doctor at the RG Medical Hospital has sparked widespread furor. Over the last few weeks, we have witnessed the insurmountable grief and rage of people from all walks of life. People across the country have taken to the streets to demand justice for the victim. A chorus seeking the safety of healthcare workers, especially women, is echoing everywhere. Amidst this, the political battleground is heating up, with the BJP and the TMC slinging mud at each other. Joining us now is a very special guest, Locket Chatterjee, former Lok Sabha Member of Parliament of the Bharatiya Janata Party, is joining us on the show. Locket Chatterjee, हमसे बातचीत करने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। तृणमूल कांग्रेस का ये मानना है मैम कि ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी है जो पश्चिम बंगाल की सरकार को बदनाम कर रही है, ये प्रदर्शन निकाल रही है। आपका क्या कहना है? वो कह रहे हैं कि ये बीजेपी ने एक षड्यंत्र रचा है टीएमसी के खिलाफ।
बहुत बहुत दुख की बात है। ये जो आरजीकर का जो तिलोत्तमा बेटी का उस दिन ब्रूटली मर्डर हुआ, इसमें पूरा देश, पश्चिम बंगाल में हर घर से, पश्चिम बंगाल में हर स्कूल से सब लोग ये प्रतिवाद आवाज उठाने के लिए, विचार पाने के लिए रास्ते के ऊपर आया। इसमें कोई कुछ राजनीति नहीं है। हम एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का प्रतिनिधि हूँ, तो मेरा ड्यूटी है एज ए पॉलिटिकल पार्टी मुझे भी आवाज उठाने का, और एज ए ह्यूमन, एज ए फीमेल, पश्चिम बंगाल में मेरा जन्म हुई, पश्चिम बंगाल का बेटी हूँ मैं, तो मेरा भी अधिकार है इसमें आवाज उठाने के लिए। तो पहले मैं पश्चिम बंगाल का बेटी हूँ, उसके बाद हम लोग का पार्टी है भारतीय जनता पार्टी। तो तृणमूल कांग्रेस बार बार चाहते हैं इसको राजनीतिक कलर दे दो, इसको बार बार ममता बनर्जी जब मंच से जब उन्होंने पदयात्रा किया था तब फांसी चाहिए, विचार चाहिए बोल के, तो उन्होंने मंच पे ऊपर बोला था कि ये राम बाम का काम है। तो राम कहाँ से आ गया? यहाँ पे भगवान कहाँ से आ गया? राम के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी को जोड़ना, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ एक ब्रूटली मर्डर को जोड़ना, ये क्या है? राजनीति क्यों कर रहा है? अगर कोई राजनीति कर रहे हैं तो राजनीति करके इसको दबाने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं। ये ममता बनर्जी मुख्यमंत्री होके पश्चिम बंगाल में कर रहा है। उसके बाद इसका ऊपर है कि वो भी पश्चिम बंगाल का बेटी है, ऐसे बोल के, ऐसे स्लोगन दे के उन्होंने वोट मांगा था। तो ऐसे कैसे कर सकते हैं? एक महिला मुख्यमंत्री होके एक महिला को लेके राजनीति क्यों कर रहे हैं? इसको लेके
लॉकेट चैटर्जी, ममता बनर्जी ये भी कह रही है केंद्र सरकार से कि मौत की सज़ा, कैपिटल पनिशमेंट एक सज़ा होनी चाहिए और ऐसा बिल पास करना चाहिए। आपको लगता है कि ये मुद्दे से हटने वाली बात कह रही है ममता बनर्जी? बिकॉज लॉ एंड ऑर्डर एक स्टेट की जिम्मेदारी है, एक राज्य की जिम्मेदारी है।
इतना दिन से 2011 से उन्होंने सरकार में आया, इतना दिन से एक के बाद एक घटना घटी। आप पार्क स्ट्रीट कांड बोलिए, आप कामदुनी बोलिए, आप कापदिक बोलिए, आप कोच बिहार बोलिए, आप जलपाईगुड़ी बोलिए, आप बीरभूम बोलिए, आप बांकुड़ा बोलिए, हर जगह में बेटी का ऐसे तरीके से मतलब किसी को जला दिया गया जिंदा, किसी को रेप करके मर्डर करके पानी में फेंक दिया गया, बहुत सारा कुछ हुआ है। कामदुनी में भी जो ब्रूटली रेप हुआ था 2013 में, पार्क स्ट्रीट में जो जिसका एक लेडी का हुआ था, अभी वो हमारा इसमें नहीं है, उसका डेथ भी हो गया। तो कोई भी विचार नहीं हुआ उनका। अगर उनके हाथ पे रहते भी हुए भी इसके लिए कोई विचार ममता बनर्जी ने नहीं किया। अभी वो चिट्ठी लिख रहे हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी को, चिट्ठी का आंसर भी आया है। हमारा बाल विकास मंत्रालय से अन्नपूर्णा देवी जी ने उनको चिट्ठी का रिप्लाई दिया कि 123 फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट पश्चिम बंगाल के लिए तैयार हो चुका है, केंद्रीय सरकार ने अनुमोदन दिया है। क्यों नहीं खुला है उसको? क्यों नहीं उसको चालू किया है? नारी सुरक्षा लाइन, हेल्पलाइन नंबर उन्होंने चालू किया था पूरा देश में, क्यों ममता बनर्जी ने चालू नहीं किया? क्योंकि केंद्रीय सरकार में जो लाए पूरा देश के लिए जो फोन नंबर दिए हैं उसमें क्या भारतीय जनता पार्टी है ना, केंद्रीय सरकार में तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी है। अगर ये टीएमसी है तो वो नंबर चालू कर देंगे तो सब लोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी को वोट देंगे। तो हर टाइम उन्होंने राजनीतिक विचार से सोचा, राजनीतिक एंगल से सोचा। अभी वो प्रधानमंत्री जी के पास दे रहे हैं, प्रधानमंत्री के साइड कर रहे हैं। अगर उसका अधिकार है, उसका पश्चिम बंगाल में धनंजय, जब सीपीएम का वामफ्रंट के अमल में धनंजय का भी फांसी हुआ था, यही तब नहीं कानून था। निर्भया दिल्ली में फांसी हुआ था, यही कानून था। अगर वो चाहते हैं तो फांसी दे सकते हैं, अगर वो चाहते हैं तो कड़ा से कड़ा विचार दे सकते हैं, अगर वो अंदर से नहीं चाहते हैं, दोषी को बचाना चाहते हैं। इसलिए ये बार बार वो चिट्ठी लिख के पूरा देश को बताना चाहते हैं, देखो मैं एक महिला मुख्यमंत्री हूँ, मैं चाहती हूँ कि महिला को सुरक्षा होने के लिए बहुत बड़ा संविधान को बदलना पड़ेगा, संविधान कानून को और भी स्ट्रॉन्ग करना पड़ेगा। अरे कानून तो यहाँ पर भी है, क्या किया तुमने? एविडेंस दबाने का कोशिश किया। सीबीआई अभी जांच कर रहे, सीबीआई को एविडेंस ही मत दो। कोलकाता पुलिस एविडेंस एकदम पूरा लोपट, पूरा एकदम खाली कर दिया, खराब कर दिया एविडेंस। तो सीबीआई के पास क्या जाएगा? अभी प्रधानमंत्री को जगह क्या फायदा होगा? वो राजनीति चाहते हैं, लेकिन हम लोग फर्स्ट चाहते हैं वी वांट जस्टिस। हम विचार चाहते हैं, हम राजनीति नहीं चाहते हैं। आप पहले इसका विचार कीजिए, ये तिलोत्तमा बेटी का विचार कीजिए, उसके बाद आप जो भी चिट्ठी है आप प्रधानमंत्री जी को दीजिए।
लॉकेट चैटर्जी, एक तस्वीर और एक वीडियो सामने आए हैं उस वाक्य के कुछ देर बाद। वहाँ पर एक लार्ज क्राउड भी दिखा जो खड़ा हुआ था कुछ संदिग्ध लोग भी नज़र आए। एक लाल कमीज़ वाले शख्स को लेकर कुछ बातचीत भी चल रही है। इस पूरी प्रणाली को लेकर आपकी क्या प्रतिक्रिया है?
बहुत ही, इसमें तो मुझे लगता है कि बहुत ही बड़ा कॉन्स्पिरेसी है। ये नॉट ए साधारण ब्रूटली मर्डर्ड, इसे पॉलिटिकल ब्रूटली मर्डर्ड, रेप एंड मर्डर्ड। इसमें बहुत सारा पॉलिटिकल लोग हैं। ये बेटी को कुछ पता चल गया था, इसलिए ये पूरा कॉन्स्पिरेसी बहुत पहले से इसका पूरा प्लान तैयार हुआ था। अब देखिए, जो जगह में जो प्लेस ऑफ ऑकरेंस है वहां पे भी इतना सारा लोग क्यों गया? क्यों पुलिस वहां पे नहीं था? क्यों पुलिस ने नहीं रोका है? कहां से एसएसकेएम से कोई डॉक्टर आ गया, उसको जो पुलिस ने मिसेस इंदिरा जी ने पुलिस से जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस किया, उन्होंने फोटो देखकर बोल रहे हैं नहीं ये फॉरेंसिक विशेषज्ञ है, स्पेशलिस्ट है, उन्होंने आया था उंगली का कुछ टेस्ट करने के लिए, फॉरेंसिक टेस्ट करने के लिए आया था, लेकिन एक्चुअली वो नहीं था, वो एक्चुअली सिंपल डॉक्टर है। एसएसकेएम में अभी उसका ड्यूटी था, तो वो अभी वहां पे क्या कर रहे थे? बहुत सारे लोग वहां पे क्या कर रहे थे कि मालूम नहीं था। जो जैसा उन्होंने देखा कि इसका बॉडी में इतने सारा मतलब फ्रैक्चर है, इतने सारा दाग है इसमें, तो इसको तो ऐसे ही तो आपको लगेगा इट्स नॉट ए नेचुरल डेथ, इट्स नॉट ए बट इट्स ए ब्रूटली मर्डर्ड। तो क्यों सब लोगों को एक साथ खड़ा कर दिया? एंट्रेंस तो एक ही था, एंट्रेंस से बार एक लोग जाएगा, 10 लोग 25 लोग 50 लोग अदर जाएगा तो एविडेंस खत्म हो जाएगा। ये सबको पता है, हमको भी पता है, हम तो कुछ नहीं मालूम है, लेकिन हमको भी ये सिंपल सेंस भी है। तो ये लोग पूरा एविडेंस को शुरू से ही आप देखेंगे, ममता बनर्जी शुरू से ही इसको लेके पूरा सब लोग चाहते हैं विचार, लेकिन ममता बनर्जी बोले मेरा तो विचार हो गया है, मैंने संजय राय को अरेस्ट कर लिया, बस एक को स्केपगोट बना दिया तो विचार हो गया है। तो बार बार आपको दूसरा रोड में लेके जाने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं ममता बनर्जी और उनका सरकार ने। मतलब इसमें बहुत बड़ा एक प्रभावशाली लोग है जिसके लिए ममता बनर्जी रास्ते के ऊपर आए हैं, जिसके लिए ममता बनर्जी अभी चुप है, जिसके लिए ममता बनर्जी मन से पूरा देश जलाने का बात कर रहे हैं। आप सोचिए, लेडी को तो विचार नहीं दे पाया, लेकिन देश जला देंगे, असम जला देंगे, ओडिशा जला देंगे, अगर बंगाल में आग जलेंगे। अरे आपका अगर आप देश जलाने का बात करेंगे तो आपका खुद का हाथ ही जल जाएगा। अब ये नहीं मालूम है आपको, बहुत सारा लोग देश हमारे लिए सबसे बड़ा है, उसके बाद है पार्टी, उसके बाद पार्टी है, पहले देश है। तो ममता बनर्जी जो अभी कर रहे हैं, जो उनका देख रही हूं कि वो पूरा एकदम एक्सट्रीम तक जा सकते हैं कि ये तिलोत्तमा को विचार नहीं मिले।
लौकिक चैटर्जी, NewsX ने एक मुहिम शुरू की है, एक कैंपेन शुरू किया है जहां पर हम विशेषज्ञों को बुलाएंगे और उनसे एक आइडिया डिस्कस करेंगे कि किस तरीके से प्रोफाइलिंग के ज़रिए रेपिस्ट को और बलात्कारियों को किसी न किसी तरह पकड़ा जाए, उनकी शिनाख्त हो और उनको ढूंढा जाए। आपको लगता है कि ऐसा एक केस स्टडी इन मामलों को रोकने में या कम करने में काम आएगा?
देखिए, पहले तो मैं पश्चिम बंगाल का बात करूंगी। पश्चिम बंगाल में अभी तक पश्चिम बंगाल में, पूरा देश में ये आईन है, अगर कोई मुख्यमंत्री, कोई समाज में, हमारा पश्चिम बंगाल में कोई बेटी के साथ ऐसा हुआ है तो खुद वो इसको विचार दे सकते हैं, कड़ा से कड़ा विचार दे सकते हैं अगर वो चाहते हैं तो। लेकिन पूरा देश में जैसा हम लोग ने दिया है, मोदी जी का नेतृत्व में बहुत सारा महिला को लेके, बहुत सारा मोदी जी भी बहुत सारा रैली से उन्होंने बताया है कुछ दिन पहले कि महिला को लेके अगर कोई कुछ हो जाए तो किसी के साथ नो कॉम्प्रोमाइज, उसके लिए उसका विचार होना चाहिए, उसका जल्द से जल्द शास्ति होना चाहिए। हम लोग भी ऐसा चाहते हैं, लेकिन व्हाई नॉट पश्चिम बंगाल, एक महिला मुख्यमंत्री अगर कोई भी होते हैं तो पहले तो ये एकदम सेंट्रल कोलकाता में हुआ है, सरकारी हॉस्पिटल में ड्यूटी के टाइम में सरकारी डॉक्टर के साथ ऐसा अगर होगा, ऐसा ममता बनर्जी अगर इसका विचार नहीं कर पाएंगे तो फ्यूचर क्या है हम लोग का? आप देखिए उसके बाद बहुत सारा कांड हुआ है, आनंदपुर में हुआ है, कुछ बिहार में हुआ है, बहुत सारा जगह में हुआ है, किसी का विचार नहीं हुआ। लेकिन आरजीकर को लेके जो डॉक्टर, जो स्टूडेंट्स, जो नर्स, जो सिंगर्स, जो एक्टर्स, सब जगह से सब लोग एक साथ हुआ है कि इसका विचार आपको देना चाहिए ही चाहिए। आप अगर विचार नहीं देंगे तो आपको रिजाइन करना है, आपको रिजाइन करना है। इसके लिए आपको जितना जल्दी, क्योंकि इसको मालूम है सब कुछ, लेडी का, तिलोत्तमा बेटी का मम्मी पापा भी बोल रहे हैं कि सीएम ने उसको फोन किया था, उसके साथ बात भी किया था, तो अब तक क्यों नहीं कर पाया? वो हम लोग को समन भेजता है, सोशल मीडिया में लिखने के बाद हम लोग को समन भेजते हैं कि आप सोशल मीडिया में क्यों ऐसा लिखा है। सब लोगों को पकड़ लिया है, हम लोग को महिला कमीशन, हम लोग घेराव करने के लिए जा रहे थे, हमको दो बार डिटेन किया है। तो इतना जल्दी कोलकाता पुलिस, इतना जल्दी सब कुछ मतलब रोकने का कोशिश, इतना फटाफट हो रहा है, तो कोलकाता पुलिस ये विचार में क्यों इतना स्लो हो गया? सब लोग अभी बोल रहे हैं सीबीआई के पास चला गया है मामले, इसलिए नहीं कर पा रहे। मतलब सीबीआई कैसे करेंगे अगर वहां का पुलिस, वो राज्य का पुलिस उसको मदद नहीं करेंगे, उसको इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं देंगे? तो तुम पूरा जो केस है तुम सीबीआई के पास देना चाहते हो, ऐसा तुम्हारा मतलब तुम्हारा प्रायोरिटी है कि इसको लेके राजनीति करो, इसको लेके विचार नहीं दो, तो बहुत दुख की बात है।
लौकिक चैटर्जी, हमसे बातचीत करने के लिए, अपना समर्थन देने के लिए इस मुहिम को आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.